Hi, you guys. Welcome back to the As Told by Kenya podcast. We already know this is patrons only. We already know that this is where I come and share my thoughts for the week-ish. I love this platform. Let me start by just saying that. I love this platform. This platform where I don't have to not I like conversation. I don't have to deal with the extra foolishness. Like I can just get on here and drag Shane Dawson, drag Jeffree Star, drag who I want to drag without having to hear all the extra background noise because on my main channel, although I love everyone over there, you have people who have sides and they don't it's a lot of extra noise. But when I come over on Patreon, it just feels like the reason why I started my channel to begin with, which was to rant. And I noticed that on my main channel, I wasn't ranting as much. I wasn't raving as much. And one, because I'm just not that same person. I am not the same person I was when I originally started my channel. That's what I've learned about myself. I did an interview with Nylon Magazine, and they were talking to me about like what's different about myself. And that's probably one of the main things that's different about myself. I do not feel compelled to rant and rave about things. Maybe because all the things I'm mad about, I've always been, I don't know. I find myself a little bit more at peace these days because old Kenya would have dragged so many things. For example, so the Kentucky state elections were last night, and congratulations to Kentucky. We have a Democratic governor. You love to see it. You really love to see it. But it does worry me a little bit because this lack of this parity, and would it be a lack of parity or would it just be parity? I don't know. This spontaneity, this like you can't tell who's gonna win what race is a little scary. It's a little scary because I find myself willing to believe that whoever wins the Democratic nomination is probably going to poll ahead of Donald Trump in November. But you only have one time to fool me. And with Hillary Clinton, I was fooled. The thing is about Hillary Clinton, because I didn't have a platform when that happened, the numbers never seemed right to me. The idea that Hillary Clinton was polling so much ahead of Donald Trump, that never sat well with me. That just never seemed like actual reality to me. So yeah, anyways, I don't know why I'm going on this tangent. So yeah, the idea that there's a governor in Kentucky that is Democrat is absolutely crazy. But then the reason why I got on this topic is because there would be things that would get me upset, but I've grown. So last night in the Kentucky state elections, the attorney general job was up for grabs, and there's been a Democratic attorney general in office in Kentucky since 1940s, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe a Democratic attorney general has been in office since 1940. So this Republican attorney general got appointed yesterday. Not appointed, he got elected yesterday. And the gag of it all is he's black. He is a black Republican, which isn't taboo. Quiet as it's kept. My dad, he won't fully embrace it, but I think my dad's a black Republican. I know as a kid he definitely said he was a black Republican. I don't know. I don't talk too many politics with him this day, but I would be privy to. But I believe a lot of black people would be Republicans if Republicans accepted black people. I don't even think that's a theory. I think that's true because their ideologies always align with Republican talking points. So anyways, yeah, so this black guy just got appointed attorney general, the first black attorney general in Kentucky, but he's Republican. And usually things like that would bother me, but I am just gonna let things play because I know the gag. I know the gag of it all. This is just a very It's for show. It's for show to make it seem like Republicans are more open. He was at the Trump rally in Kentucky. Like, he's not for me. So like I don't believe in politics first politics. So politics where it's like just about my people, like Democrats first, right? Or liberals first. No, I don't believe in that. I think race matters. Race matters. Race matters. I don't believe in post-race politics because we're not there yet. But when I see this black man being the attorney general in Kentucky, it's like I'm happy that he was black and he made it so far, but shit, even slaves was in the house. Like, am I supposed to be happy? Like, you're a house Negro? Like, that's not you massa favorite. Like, no, thank you. So things like that would have gotten to Kenya. Stuff like that would have bothered Kenya all Wednesday. But I'm not going to let it happen. I'm not going to let that get me upset. I'm not going to let that grind my gears, because now Republicans can sit there and say they have diversity or they care about black people. That person is clearly just like, it's too freaking much. Which, since I'm talking about politics, this was supposed to be later on the bill, but someone on Patreon asked me, why am I for Warren and not for Bernie? It's actually quite simple. I don't think Bernie and Warren's politics are not much different. They go for the same policies. They even amongst the people who are still there, you can tell they are the closest. Like, she endorsed his healthcare bill. Like, so has nothing to do with Bernie politics. That's the thing. A lot of people like to think that you dislike, when you don't go for Bernie Sanders, you dislike Bernie Sanders. And that's just not the thing Bernie Sanders stands. Like, I know you guys love this man to death, and he is the one that is promised, but I don't believe in one that is promised politics. I believe in politics, there should always be someone who can steal your spot. Like, you should always be shitting because somebody else will be on the pot. Like, that is how I feel in politics. Like, someone always should be better. And I just feel like a lot of Bernie fans are fans of him, and that's my problem. But that's not why I dislike Sanders, because I don't care what his fans do. I don't dislike Sanders at all, honestly, but this is why he's not my candidate. I have no problem voting for Bernie Sanders. I promise you, I will lose no sleep at night if Bernie Sanders wins the Democratic nomination, which I think is very plausible. The three people who are up there, Biden, Warren, and Sanders, I believe each and every one of them could win the nomination. In my head, when I think about possibility, I could see each and every one of them winning the nomination. I just could. I believe that moderate Democrats are voting blocks. So Biden, that's another thing we could talk about. I won't do it here because we're not going to be here all day. But moderate Democrats are a voting block. They don't split their vote. That's why Hillary Clinton won the election over Bernie Sanders last year. 3 years ago. It is a voting block. They vote together and they vote. That is what voting blocks do. And so moderate Democrats are a voting block. And Joe Biden is just trying to keep the voting block intact. He doesn't have to do very much. And then I see Warren, because I see white woman Democrats coming out and supporting Warren. I think if Warren were to get the nomination, it is because white women are going to come out in droves and support Warren. I really do. I think young black woman Democrats and young white woman Democrats are going to come out in droves and vote for Warren. I 100% believe that. I think Warren has a lot of things working for her, and she clearly has momentum. What all Warren needs to do why won't more people drop out of the election? But once it's down to just the three people I mentioned, I think Warren's going to pick up even more steam. I honestly do. And my thing about Bernie is I see Bernie winning because I think Bernie has a huge fan base. I think Bernie fans know that it's now or never. It's honestly now or never, and they're going to come out. So I see all possibilities, and none of the possibilities make me upset. Seeing Joe Biden in the White House doesn't make me upset. I'm sorry. Seeing Warren in the White House doesn't make me upset. Sorry. And seeing Sanders in the White House doesn't make me upset. Anyone but Trump. Anyone but Trump. That is really where I'm at with it. It might be an exhausting rhetoric, and yes, I would like to get the best person for the job in the House, but I believe the best person for the job is Warren. But we have misogyny. I can see why a lot of people don't want to put their faith in Warren because misogyny. But here's why I don't like Bernie Sanders. I think why we don't go for Biden is clear, but why Bernie Sanders isn't my candidate. It's not about liking him. It's just why he's not my candidate. Number one, Bernie Sanders is a man. Bernie Sanders is a white, old man. I'm sorry. That's why I say it's very simple why I'm not pro Bernie Sanders. I am not pro anyone who is that old, who is that white, and who is that man. I can't do it. In 2019, I do not want to see old white men being the leader of the United States of America. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't even want to see boomers in the White House who are white men. You think I want to see some man who was around since 1930 to be? No, I don't want to see it. He's not a representation of America. He's too old. Bernie Sanders is too old, and that is very ageist, but it's the truth. And it's not ageist, and I'm saying it is ageist, but it's ageist for a reason, simply because he's not a representation of what America is. He's not. He is not. And then number two, him on being old. Bernie Sanders not only is old, but he acts old. Bernie Sanders just had a heart attack, you guys. A heart attack. This man cannot lead this country for 8 years. He can't. He can't, because that is what I am thinking about. Whoever we give this nomination to, we are investing in for the next 8 years. I don't know where Bernie Sanders is going to be in 8 years. I don't know. And I don't see it. I don't see it for him. And then secondly, when I was talking about post-race politics, I believe Bernie Sanders subscribes to post-race politics. I think Bernie Sanders, the people who support Bernie Sanders are those people who talk about diversity, but all of their friends are white. You know those people who live out in San Francisco and they're like, diversity this, diversity that, but they can't tell you the last time they've been to a restaurant where more than 2 black people were in it. That is what's very the Bernie Sanders ideal to me. It's this place where we talk about diversity, we talk about being progressive, but we don't actually do things that are progressive for all people. We talk about diversity at a distance. That is what the Bernie Sanders mantra comes across to me. It comes across to me as very post-racial. Very post-racial. Let's focus on, it's a class first politics. That is what Bernie Sanders believes in. Bernie Sanders subscribes to class first politics. So you vote with the poor people are the poor people, middle class people are the middle class people, the rich people are the rich people. And it's class first. So your class is who you like, who you should be rooting for. But the problem is there's racism. Before class, there's racism. And so that is it. That is why I cannot get on board with Bernie Sanders. I can't do it. I can't do it. But if 100% if he gets the nomination, this will turn into a Let's Go Bernie podcast, okay? I have no gripes with Bernie Sanders, okay? Bernie Sanders, I have no gripes with a single person running for nomination. I just think some of them don't deserve to be president. But I think all of them, even Kamala Harris, I believe deserves to be in office. I believe Kamala Harris is a great senator. I honestly believe Kamala Harris is good for her job. Because even though she's a prosecutor and she'll throw people in jail, everybody don't gotta be lefty to left, okay? So I believe, but this is where I'm putting my stock into Warren. Warren's my candidate. I like where she comes from. I like what she stands for. I like her honesty. She's gonna tax the hell out of the middle class, and so be it. If it means poor people get to go to the dentist, tax the hell out of the middle class. But she's also gonna tax the fuck out of the rich, and that's what we really need. So is Bernie. But yes, so yeah. It really has little to do with their politics. That's why Bernie's just not my candidate, okay? But if he gets a nomination, guess what? He'll be my candidate, okay? So there's that on that. That is not what we were going to start this podcast with. Actually, what I'm about to talk about next is not what we were going to start this podcast with. Let's talk about T.I. I woke up this morning to the foolishness of T.I. I don't listen. T.I. has been, for the past 4 months, T.I. has been saying something stupid every 2 weeks. I don't know what's in the water, what's in the Atlanta water, but T.I. comes out of the woodwork unprovoked and says something stupid at least every 2 weeks. And I'm just like, who's making you do this? Who is making you constantly say these dumb things? I am not surprised that T.I. has dumb ideas and dumb rhetorics and dumb thoughts, but I'm surprised we keep getting assaulted with them. That is what has been really getting me up in arms. I'm like, who is still allowing T.I. to talk about these things? Like, what's really going on here? So anyways, T.I. decides that he's going to talk about how he has a 16-year-old daughter. T.I. got hella children, but he has 2 daughters. He has 3 daughters. He has 3 daughters, right? But he has one daughter who's actually not his daughter. It is Tiny's daughter. And then he has his first real daughter. That's mean. His first biological daughter, and her name is Deja. Deja is 16 years old now, which I thought she was way older, but I don't know. Those not my kids. And he goes unprovoked and tells us that on every birthday of his daughters, he checks to see if her hymen, am I pronouncing that word right? It's spelled Hygem, hymen, in, to check and see if it has been broken, basically. So basically, he's doing this to see if his daughter has had sex. So basically, after every single birthday, he checks his daughter's hymen to see if she has had sex. So he wants to know, after every birthday goes around, is his daughter a virgin? What in the God green earth fuck is going on in the T.I. Harris household? What is going on? What is going on? Now, this daughter is not a daughter he had with Tiny, so don't direct your energy to Tiny about this, because that is not Tiny's. Their kids are all over the place. Like I said, the first one is not T.I.'s daughter, and this daughter is not Tiny's daughter. This daughter is with someone else, and so is his first son. Maybe his first 2 sons aren't with Tiny either. Anyways, so this one is not with Tiny, even though she's younger. It don't matter. It don't matter. What in the hell? First of all, it's not only abuse, but it's also illegal. Some charges need to be pressed. He needs to be taken in to Child Protective Services, because in the story, he says that he tells his daughter to sign the paper that means that the gynecologist can share the information with her dad. So when you go to the gynecologist and you go with your parents, you still have to approve if any of the information that the doctor has, if they can share it with your parents, because children have rights and you have the right over your reproductive system. Therefore, he can't just ask, so what's going on with my daughter? She has to sign a paper saying, you can tell my dad what's going on. But he coerces his daughter into signing this paper. He tells her, okay, now, so I want to know what's going on with you. So please sign this paper. You can't do that. You can't coerce someone into signing a paper that gives you rights to their body. No. Child Protective Services, ring, ring, ring. Lock up Tip Harris. No, you can't do that. And then on top of it, it's abuse. She is being abused. The fact that after every birthday, he says she'll be playing with her gifts, and I'll put a note and say, time to go to the gyno. and he takes her to the guy. That is abuse. You are abusing your daughter to yearly gynecology visits where she has to prove to you that she is a virgin. Now, the doctor knows this is creepy. The doctor knows this is weird because the doctor tells T.I., he says, or she says, that you know her hymen can be broken by literally anything. Like, she could sit down on a chair too hard and start bleeding everywhere. She could go bike riding. She could go horse riding. Anything can cause it. Sex is not only is sex not the only, sex, I don't believe, is the main reason why most people's hymen is broken. A lot of people, hymen is broken, but sometimes you don't even notice it. That is what the fact of the matter is. Sex is not even the leading cause of this. But he is so worried about whether or not his daughter is having sex that he doesn't even care. He doesn't even care to see what is actually going. The doctor probably is confused as hell. And he responds to that when the doctor tells him that. He says, well, my daughter ain't horseback riding. My daughter ain't this. My daughter ain't that. So just check it and tell me the results. Are you crazy? Like I said, what is the world we're living in where men are taking their daughters to the gynecologist to see if they've had sex? What is this? And then what makes it even worse is T.I. is a habitual cheater. T.I. has taken a virginity or 5 in his lifetime. So where do you get the room? He's not doing it to his boys. I know he's not asking. He doesn't care if his boys are having sex. He would hope his boys are having sex. So what is this world? T.I. should not have children. He should not. But there are so many people, what makes it fun, there's so many people who are going to quietly agree with what T.I. is doing, who thinks this is okay to violate your daughter. It just shows this thing of you having to be on the defense at the age, who knows how long he's been doing this to his daughter. She has been on the defense, having to be defensive of her virginity, having to prove herself at such a young age. She's going to need therapy. She probably thinks she's okay with this. She is going to need therapy to get through what her father is doing to her, to literally making her somehow to be, and I'm putting this in quote, a slut, a hoe, a this, without her doing anything or making it like. It is crazy, the fact, and then the doctor is 100% correct, because here's my thing. Let's say this is all okay. Let's say the doctor reports back that the hymen has been broken. What you gonna do, T.I.? That's why his children need to be taken from him. If that wasn't enough, this is why his child needs to be taken from him. What are you going to do, T.I.? What is the next thing that you are going, what is the repercussions? When you do this, there has to be something that you're going to do if the doctor gives you some news you don't want to hear. What is it? What are you going to do when you find out your 16-year-old daughter may or may not have had sex? This little girl is living in fear, especially because she hears the doctor telling her that, you know, one day it is going to break and it may not happen with you having sex. So she's probably fearful as hell. Like, so I could come in here one day and it's broken and then it's like, what? Like, that is scary. Their anecdote time. We were in middle school. Either we were in like late elementary school or middle school. And there was this bicycle that was like, when we were outside, that's why I'm thinking it was middle school, because we used to walk around. I think it was middle school, like 6th grade. This girl, I won't say her name, obviously, she found like this abandoned bicycle like behind this like building, and she jumped on the bicycle and like she like screamed. She let out a little screech. Come to find out, like I had no clue what was going on. She went to the health room and everything because she was bleeding. And come to find out on the bus, she told me that like basically, long story short, her hymen had broken when she jumped on the bike. That is what had happened. And so, yeah, we were on this Middle school is weird. Middle school, I don't even know how we got on that subject on the bus. I wasn't necessarily even in on the conversation. I was just, me and the girl were friends, and she was talking to this, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Long bus rides home. And anyways, she was talking about that, and I'm like, so what if this happens to this 16-year-old girl? We were in 6th grade. We were 12, 11 or 12. This girl is 16. T.I., get a grip. That is so freaking weird. But on to the next subject, because that even wasn't even a subject that we were supposed to get on today. So we're moving on to the next subject. The next subject is Shane Dawson. Now, I love to see people care about things that I've been caring about for a long time. When you do the work that I do, it sometimes takes a long time to reap the rewards of your work, to see the benefits, and I am seeing the benefits of my work. So, Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star put out their collaboration. It sells out, woody woo woo. We knew that was going to happen. So people on Twitter have decided to put onto Twitter all the racist things that Shane Dawson has done. And the Shane Dawson fans, Shane Dawson himself, the Shane Dawson team are pressed because they thought they could keep this at bay. One thing you can't run from is the truth. The truth is like wind. It'll one day get to you. It will one day sweep you up. It could start all the way over there. The truth is going to find you. It is going to find you. Shane Dawson has rebranded. He is no longer the same messy queen he once was. But you did what you did, and you gotta own it. You gotta own it. Shane Dawson, I've always said this, Shane Dawson was able to rebrand in a way Trisha Paytas can't, because Trisha Paytas doesn't have the brain cells to do it. But Shane Dawson was doing the same fuckery that Trisha Paytas was doing. That is what people don't understand. When we had the Trisha Paytas conversation, a lot of people like to point out the fact that Trisha Paytas does this, but I'm like, Trisha Paytas is playing follow the leader. And the leader is Shane Dawson. When Trisha Paytas was doing all that trolling, she got it from Shane Dawson because Shane Dawson was getting a lot of praise and a lot of fame off of the fuckery, off of literally being racist. And that is where this conversation goes. Shane, why is racism such a comedic point for a specific type of white people in America and in the world? Why is racism the funniest thing y'all can come up with? I said it in my video. Shane Dawson is not funny. When I first ever talked about Shane Dawson, I'm like, Shane Dawson isn't funny. Shane Dawson is someone who relies on shock value, and human beings get the shock value emotion that you feel, and actual laughter confused. Because when you see shock value, you feel something, and you think you're feeling funny, but you're not feeling funny. You're not feeling comedy. You're feeling like, what the hell is this? And so people don't know how to feel, and in emotions, we only get a certain, we only got so few labels for emotion, so you just put it in the funny category, but nothing about it was funny. So people have been posting the videos of Shane Dawson being racist. Shane Dawson saying the N-word with hard R's, those hard ERs, him in blackface several times. They still didn't put up when he called Blue Ivy a man. This man is racist to his bone. This man is racist. Shane Dawson is racist, okay? We can talk about Jeffree Star another day, but there is a reason why these two entities are together. These two men are violently racist. Shane Dawson Dawson's running gag was he didn't care about black people. When you see white people in blackface and saying the N word and the hard ER, and they're making fun of black women with stereotypes, they are being violently racist. They're being racist in a way that they're saying, not only am I racist, but I don't care that I'm racist. I don't care that you think I am racist. That is what Shane Dawson's form of comedy, I put in quotations, was about. Him not caring that you think he is racist. That is what was his point. I don't care that you guys think that I'm racist. I don't care that you guys think there's a problem with me being racist. I don't care. This is what I do. This is what I do. I do not care about black people. Now, people are, like I said, the Shane Dawson team is mad. They're pressed. But why are you so panini pressed? My thing about this is no one made you do this, Shane Dawson. No one made you do it. This is not a one-time thing where you did it and you retracted. You did it. You liked the attention you got from it and you kept going. You made a choice, Shane Dawson. You made a choice to be racist, to show racism, to find racism funny. Why do we live in a world where racism is funny? This rhetoric, the things that Shane Dawson was doing, is why this is a truth. Black people have to live this. Why is it funny that black people have to live racism? Why is that so funny? Why is it so funny that black people have to go through all of these things? And you guys show on so many occasions that you guys find this stuff funny. Black people, we called you the N-word. Ha ha ha. Blackface is mean and cruel and it makes fun of black people. Ha 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 ha. Racism is funny. Jim Crow is funny. Segregation is funny. All of it's so funny to you guys. And the thing is, y'all want us to say, well, why do y'all keep bringing up this old stuff? He is beyond this. You don't get to be beyond racism when you were racist. Where does this ideology go where you get to decide that you are above the racist things that you had done? No, you weren't above it when you thought it was funny. Now that you no longer are in that space, you get to tell us to stop bringing that up. No, this is your truth. We're bringing up your truth. Your truth is in front of you and you don't like it. You don't like that the mirror is put up. Show this is what you did. No one held a gun to your head, Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson, you're old. So Shane Dawson, you were in your mid-20s doing this foolishness. And you don't like the idea that people are like, what's really good, Shane Dawson? Racism is not a phase that you go through and get to overcome. Racism is not a phase where it's like, I don't do that no more, so y'all need to get off my back. No, because it should have never been done. No one goes through these phases but this particular group of white people. This particular group of white people are the only people who go through their phase of racism. They are the only people who go through their phase of just treating people horribly, making fun of black people. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all, but you're not about to sit here and tell me that on my back, because I'm black, on my back, you get to go through this maturing. I have to deal with you bullying, belittling us because you're growing. Racism is not a part of you growing. It should never be done. Shane Dawson, the reason why these things are coming out is because it should never be done. And to see children lining up to get products by this man is so disgusting. It's so disgusting to see this happening. People just being given, so Gavin, little Gavin, our little nephew Gavin, is sitting there aligning himself with a man who did this. It just shows you how easy it is for white people to overcome racism because no one actually cares about racism. Racism is this thing that White people pretend that they care about you. Pretend that you care that black people go through this, but you really don't. You, to save face, you're like, oh yeah, don't do this, don't do that. But when people actually do it, y'all show time and time and time again, y'all don't care. Y'all really don't care that this is what they go through. And the thing is, there's too many good white people, not too many, child, Kenya, but there's many good white people going around who aren't caught up in this. Why is the dude in Canada saying he don't know how many times he did blackface? Why is this such a narrative for you guys that y'all have just been caught doing racism, participating in racism? That is what is so baffling to me. Why is it that is just such a point? Explain that to me, comments. In the comments, please explain to me why that is such a talking point, that you have to be racist. Every time we pull something up, and it's not just like one, like you said the N-word in a tweet. No, it is this culture of racism. Shane Dawson built his funniness. That's why it's so funny what y'all find funny. That's why I said this man ain't funny. And when people said that, they were like, I understand Jeffree Star, but what did Shane Dawson do? Well, baby, let me learn you a thing or two. See, that's one thing about Kenya. Kenya is so petty that I remember all your foolishness. And I wait. I am patient. And I wait for it to get thrown in your face. So for all the Shane Dawson fans who want us to just get over it, never will I get over what this man has done. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get over it. I'm not just going to live and let live. For what? No, you did this. And whatever you gain from doing this, you're going to have to deal with the repercussions. I don't want to hear people so sensitive. It's not that deep. He's different now. That's not my problem. It is not my problem how different he is. It is not my problem that he's changed. It is not my problem he has grown. All those things don't have nothing to do with me. I don't care. Those things don't matter. I don't care. What is this? You did this, and you deserve consequences for doing that, for making fun of black people, for saying the N-word. It's so ugly. It's honestly so freaking ugly. Oh my God, that racist people get to have the world. The world. Anyways, we're going to move on to Solange. Solange, like I said, is getting a divorce, but that is not the purpose of why we are here today. We are here today to discuss how much people will show that they hate black women. So Solange puts out an Instagram post pretty much saying that her and her husband aren't together anymore. And let me tell you something about Solange. Solange is long-winded as hell. Someone somewhere told Solange she was an intellectual and that she could write well, and they lied to her. Whoever did it lied to her. Not only, Solange is long-winded, which I read books, and I read books of people who are long-winded. They're my least favorite types of books, but I can deal with someone who is long-winded if they know how to write, if they're sending, like if you're gonna be long-winded, if you're gonna be someone who writes, who puts a lot of words within the margins, but only a few of those words have anything to do with the actual point of the sentence, you're going to have to know how to structure sentences. Solange doesn't know how to structure sentences. She doesn't know how to make a sentence flow. She doesn't, and it's hard. There are people, that's why I say someone lied when they told Solange she was an intellectual, because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to do sentence structure. You don't understand the art of linguistics. You don't understand the art of forming a sentence, having all these tools, all these words, but forming a beautiful, elegant sentence that flows and is easy to understand. That is what Solange does not have. It is when Solange writes, go look through her tweets, go look through her Instagram posts, her sentences don't form well. It's a bunch of words and periods, but like, the period is not the only form of punctuation that you can put in a sentence to make a sentence flow. No, you need commas and some semicolons, sis, because it's not making a lot of sense. So yeah, that is just a random tangent on how much I hate reading Solange's writing. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad because if she just stuck to simple sentence structure and simple words, she could be quite a good writer, but it's just, she uses words and like, it's just words and it's just so many words. And it's like, I understand you're not even using big words. You're using a bunch of words that are small that we all can understand, but you're not using them correctly. You're not using them properly, and so it all becomes too much. So yeah, that was the biggest annoyance I had with her Instagram post. I'm gonna read some of this Instagram post to see if y'all even understand what this woman was saying, because it's just so weird. And I've noticed this for a while with her. Like, why? And she said, the past 2 years have brought me more physical and spiritual transition and evolution than ever before. My body left me with no choice but to listen and be still. Within that stillness, I began my journey in comforting my worst enemy and fear. What? Within that stillness, the stillness of the stillness, still. Like, that doesn't make, look, stop. Use some commas. My body left me with no choice but to listen and be still. Within that stillness, I began my journey in confronting my worst enemy, fear. Like, the last sentence, confronting my worst enemy, fear, she used the comma, but it doesn't make any sense. I've lived my best and worst moments in front of the lens and the gaze of the world since I was a teenager. I've always tried to live in my truth, no matter how ugly or full of love it's just a lot of words. It's a lot of words. Just instead of saying, hey, my body couldn't take no more, I needed to just be still. And through that stillness, I learned that I need to confront my worst enemy, fear. The words aren't the issue, actually. It's the way she's structuring the words. It's like, you can make this sentence so elegant, but you're not. No, what? Be kind to you and filled with incredible love and light. What? Be kind to you and filled with incredible love. No matter how big or small, be kind and filled. What? I'm sorry, it's not making sense. I know exists within God and the universe grace. She just has a typo. I think she said, I now exist. And power I know exists with. Oh, okay. And power why am I doing this to Solange writing? It's not good. She don't know how to write. But with that being said, with me dragging the way Solange writes, Solange, it's not hard to understand the overall point. Her and her husband are breaking up. She's had enough. She's sick. This, that, and the third. Nowhere in this does it make it seem like Solange cheated. It doesn't sound like Solange cheated. Nothing in this gives me, oh, Solange's been cheating on her husband. That's just not the vibe you're getting from this. It's not what she said. But Twitter niggas will take one thing and blow it up. Because let me tell you something about Twitter niggas. Twitter niggas hate black women. They hate black women. They show it every single time that they don't like black women. And any chance they get to take a hyperbole shit on black women, they do. And this was their time. They know black women love Solange, whatever. And they said, oop, let's get her. Solange cheated. So they ran with this fake narrative that Solange cheated. Now, I was busy this day. I went out of town this day when this happened. But I logged on to Twitter and just saw a bunch of people saying Solange cheated and this. I'm like, I know Solange didn't just admit to cheating. That don't even sound like something Solange would do. And like, they're quite private. So I'm like, there got to be like some tea. There was no tea that was spilled. It was just nothing. It was just a bunch of people who wanted to relish in the fact that Solange, I don't know, it's weird. But the whole conversation basically got Solange on the internet to say that she didn't cheat on her man. And it's just like, why? Why do y'all want black women to be taken down a peg so bad? Y'all would rather run with a false narrative that Solange cheated on her man then just deal with the fact that you don't know nothing about these people. Y'all love to run with false narratives. Y'all don't know nothing about Solange, Beyonce, Jay. Y'all don't know nothing about them. But y'all are so quick. So that brings me to the point that one of my patrons wanted to talk about, and you know I'm here for it. People saying Beyonce is stupid for not leaving Jay-Z, because Solange left her man. What does that have to do with Beyonce? Beyonce and Solange live two totally different lives. I don't know why Solange left her man. It doesn't seem like Solange man cheated. It just seemed like Solange didn't want to be with that man anymore. The age difference between them is weird anyway. But still, what does that have to do? Why do y'all think y'all can outthink Beyonce? Why do y'all think y'all know so much about Beyonce? Because you don't. Because you just really don't. You don't know this woman. So why are you pretending like you do? Why? You don't know her. You don't know her. Did y'all hear ringing? I'm so sorry if y'all just heard a ringing. That's my apologies. Yeah. Y'all don't know her. Y'all really don't know her. And so stop worrying about Beyonce. Stop worrying about her marriage. Just stop. Anyways, that's all I got for today. I'll talk to you guys in my next one. Bye-bye.